TOA community, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Apex 2, week 1, workout number 1 here. As we dive in, these are 3-round bouts, all sets of 8. We're gonna work our way through a couple little tempo variations as we go, but for the most part, pretty simple, pretty safe, old school style of training for this week. All right, our first one. Out of the gate here, dumbbell bench press, 2-second negatives on the way down, 1,002, 1 second positive on the way up. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself there for that set of 8. On to a corkscrew row, kettlebell or dumbbell. I want to show you a little something here. When I do a corkscrew row with a dumbbell, the weight of the dumbbell, not so much with these ones because they are center massed a little bit, but the weight of a regular dumbbell is on the front of my hand, the back of my hand. When I utilize the kettlebell, the weight is distributed below my hand and not on front and at the bottom. So it's just a little bit easier of a rotation. There's less corkscrew torque, if you will, at my wrist and at my elbow when the weight is swinging around. So preferred that you corkscrew row with a kettlebell or a center mass type dumbbell if you have one of those, or center mass bells like we have. If not, no worries. You're not going to damage yourself. It's just something that's a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so 8 on each arm there, corkscrews. And then your last one, hammer curl to an overhead press back and down. Hammer curl, elbows in tight, punch, reach overhead, and then return back down. We'll get 8 of those. You're going to do 3 rounds, take a break, and then we're going to pop over to the lower body, where we're going to start off with a sit to stand. This sit to stand can be with a kettlebell. And I'm going to go off the corner here just so you can see where my feet are. 1, 2, and then return on the way up here. Just a steady 2-second descent, completely unload. And remember, you want to keep your shoulders forward, advance to the weight. That means right over the weight so you're not rocking forward and back. After that, single leg kickstand RDLs. Knees stay together. I like to do this where I hold my hands, my knees in position, and I kickstand my foot back, meaning my knees do not move, just my foot. I'm going to hinge slow, slow, slow. That weight slides right underneath my kneecap, and then I return back up. Push the butt out, push the butt out, push the butt out, stretch, and then return. This is all about the eccentric stretch that you're getting. It's not this, this is a struggle, really tough style of lifting. Probably the same weight here. Leaning into the wall, calf pumps. I want you to knock out 8. Switch the weight into your other hand and knock out 8 more on the other side. We're going to get 3 rounds of that, and you are kaput. Any comments or questions, feel free to let me know. If not, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia and enjoy the workout, and we will see you in the next one. Take care. Hey community, what's up everybody? Welcome back. ADLs to Activities of Daily Living. Workout number 1, week number 1. We are going to dive right in here with 10 dumbbell bench press, followed by, this is all upper body by the way, followed by some corkscrew rows and a little curl to a press. All right, first one out of the gate here, 2 to 1 second tempo as we work our way down to 1 good stretch and return, 2, 1 good stretch and return. Traditional, regular old bench press. Lift as heavy as you can for that awesome set of 10. Corkscrew row, preferred use is a kettlebell because the weight is distributed straight under your hand, where with a dumbbell, the weight is in front of your hand, on the back of your hand. When you rotate, it creates a lot of torque, the elbow, the wrist, the shoulder. So with a kettlebell, the weight just sits directly underneath your hand. It's much easier. There's still some torque, obviously, but it's much easier to corkscrew and rotate the kettlebell as you work here. We're going palm down to start, palm up as you row. Just remember, you're trying to touch your pinky to your ribs here as you row up. We're going to crank out 10 of those on each arm. And then our last one, notice the tempo on this. It's a 2 to 0. That means the curl and press is going to be as quick as we can. Curl it, press it, and bring it back down, almost like you're doing a snatch or a clean and press. It's that quickly. I want you to curl, press, reach back down. Just really be dynamic with that. Still heavy-ish, right? Enough to where you can still get a good challenge out of it, but we're able to move that tempo pretty quick. All right, sit to stands, kettlebell. We're gonna go, I'm gonna go just off center here to show you foot position. We're gonna start off here. This is a 3, 2, 1, eccentric, re-engage and go. Notice when I get to the bottom here and I unload onto the bench, I keep my shoulders right over the weight. What I don't want you to do is this rocking component where you rock forward when you come up. Stay right over, shoulders right over, unload, drive right back up again. So you just stay in that forward little tilt. Really good like bucket squat position is what we're looking for. Okay, you have an option of doing knees together, kickstand, RDL, 3, 2, 1, return. You can do these guys. Or if you're really good with your balance, you can do the full single leg RDL. Remember, the higher you reach that leg in the back, higher, and return, the better hamstring work you're gonna get, the more coordinated and the more balance you're gonna feel. 10 on each side, head over to the wall or a step where you can hang your heels off. Kettlebell in hand, we're gonna pump out 10 calf pumps, put the weight in your other hand, and give me 10 more. We've got 4 rounds of each of those to finish and conclude your workout. Comments, questions, hit me up down below. If not, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. We will see you in the next one. Take care. TOA community, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Strength and conditioning workout numero uno. We are gonna dive in here with 5 rounds, sets of 12. Woof. We got a lot of work to do here. Starting off with good old fashioned bench press. 2-to-1 lifting tempo. We're gonna bench you here, a big stretch at the bottom. We're gonna go to corkscrew rows with our kettlebell down below. We're gonna finish up with clean and presses. Now, normally we do the clean and press at the beginning because it's the more dynamic lift. So the whole purpose of this is to get a pre-exhaust to make the clean and press more difficult. So lift heavy is my point. Weights coming up. We're going down 2, 1, big stretch and punch, 2, 1, big stretch and punch, cranking out a set of 12. From there, onto our kettlebell of choice, corkscrew rows. Both feet flat on the floor, one hand on the bench. Remember, with a dumbbell, weights on the front, weights on the back. As I rotate, that weight has to rotate and swing around my wrist, my elbow, my shoulder. So there's a lot of torque production, where if I hang onto a kettlebell, palm down, the weight is directly underneath. It's a much smaller torque window here for me to feel, and my elbows, my joints, everything just feel a whole lot better when I'm performing this corkscrew row here at the bottom. Now my last one, I'm tired, I did the bench, I did my rows, 12 on each side. Now I'm going to clean and press as fast as I can. Clean it, press it, back, return. Hinge, clean it, press it, back, return. We don't want snatches, okay? This is not a snatch. You've got to get that up back turn and then drive that momentum straight overhead from that punching action. That's exactly what we're shooting for. 5 rounds of that should be pretty gassed. Okay, you're gonna have 50 of each of these in the bank. And then we're gonna switch over. We're gonna go into our lower body work. Now this is gonna start with deficit sit to stands. I'm gonna sit just off center here so you can see what I'm doing. Kettlebell in position. I'm elevated my 2 inches all the way down. Normally I'd get the handle here. I've got an extra 2 inches. I've got to sit down into this. Now our advanced 2 position over the weight is really, really key. That means my shoulders straight down the kettlebell in position, meaning I don't want to have the weight in front and I don't want to rock back. Okay, this rocking position is really detrimental to my strength development. So I'm going to lean in, shoulders. I'm in this really good like goblet squat style pickup. As I drive up, coming down 3, 2, 1. I unload the weight, but I also sit down onto the bench and then re-engage and drive up. This is where really good warm-up comes in, because the depth that we're getting to here, I could not do this that long ago. My warm-ups, my mobility work, lateral lunges of shifties, the can openers, half kneeling windmills, all that have really helped open up my hips a little bit so I can squat deeper. This should be able to transfer over for you as well. All right, from there, single leg RDLs. We're gonna hold in the right hand, right leg extended in the rear. Find your balance, find your focal point. Raise that leg as high as you can in the back. Pull with that hamstring as you return. Let me give you a little cleaner version of this. There we go. Good squeeze every time, take your time. Contralateral like I just did. Ipsilateral if you prefer. Doesn't matter to me as long as you're keeping that back hip closed. Crank out 12, other side 12. And then we're gonna do elevated calf pumps. That means we're up on a step or a functional box like I'm on here, knocking out my 12. I'm gonna put the weight in my other hand and do 12 more. 5 rounds of that, 50 reps of each one in the bank. Whew, we're gonna be smoked. Comments, questions, hit me up down below. If not, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. We will see you in the next one. Take care.